late. Everyone else is in bed. It's been hard to completely transcend a broken consciousness, a state of division, where I have my mind, my ego, my fractured selves, my past selves, my current self, all the different fractured parts and pieces from traumas in my life, to coalesce them, to bring them together into a whole inside of me. It's taken time. It's still taking time. This is the work that no one sees. This is the work that is immeasurable except in quality of experience. I used to worry every day about dying, about being invaded, abandoned, destitute. But my life was gray. It was just a life of being trapped in the mind, of really being ruled by anxieties and depressions. And I have climbed out of that. I still feel anxiety and depression, but I am not ruled by it. And that's a big difference. It used to have me, and now I have it. But how do you measure that? The only person who can measure that is the person who experiences it. And a lot of this thing we call life is a shit show of what can I show the world to prove I'm okay. And then if we get that feedback where people go, wow, we think I'm okay, and then we lie to ourselves when in fact we're in denial. Most of us are scattered and confused and lost. And I'm not. I'm found. And how do you measure being found? My higher being has stepped into my reality and gathered at my mind, but my mind is still paralyzed in memories of the past. And my mind is terrified of not knowing what's coming. And my mind has no way to know what's coming, because what's coming is something my higher being knows and my soul knows, but my mind really doesn't know. My mind is an implementation consciousness, and it has gone awry. It doesn't have the power to know like the soul does. It doesn't carry the seeds of knowing and wisdom. It carries the ability to implement in the world of form, to make things happen, to carry out, to execute. And the problem is my mind has been leading everything since I was born. My mind, because my soul was so unmet by any reflections, by any safe place. There wasn't a place for my soul to be. And so it is with you. So many of us old souls, we didn't have a place. And our minds have been leading us. And so to bring our minds back from being the leaders is very hard. So what I'm doing that's very hard to measure, but it's happening every single minute of every day, is working very hard to surrender my mind to my higher being. And my mind is fighting this process, just fighting every day, every minute, and it's causing feelings of division inside of me, and panic and frustration and anguish, just miserable states. And my mind is very powerful, and so there's not a lot I can do but be patient with the process and allow my mind to fight. And some days I just watch the Hallmark Channel. I just watch feel-good movies. I try to relax. I can't really go anywhere. I take care of my family. I help out my parents. I do the dishes. I homeschool my daughter. I take care of my responsibilities within a domestic sphere because this is where my soul has placed me for my transformation process. I have no idea where my life is going. I know that in the past I tried to control it and I got into programs for education and a master's program and a PhD program and then another master's program when I didn't want to finish that PhD program. And then I got director jobs at, mental health clinics, and life seemed to bend somewhat to what I wanted to do in the outer world. Come about 2011, that stopped for me. And I experienced a complete breakdown of what I thought reality was. And I have not had any rest, truly lasting rest, since I've been in a tornado. I've been on choppy seas of uncovering all of the lies and the pain in my reality that came from living a mind-led life and all the traps and all the problems that come along with that, with having ignored my soul for 31 years, and it was in agony. And now I've just been bringing my life back to life. And again, there's no one to see it except my husband, There's no one. I have a couple friends, but I've really been leading the life of a monk or an ascetic. I've really let go of almost every single one of my friendships. I don't have much of a social life outside my family, and every day is spent working in the invisible realms, in the realms of consciousness, mind, soul, the higher levels, and yet being down here in the lower levels. In this coming to terms with what this reality is, waking myself up from the dream, gently peeling back the layers of reality and illusion, gently peeling back the illusions so my mind can see what's true, and then giving my mind time to adjust to what's really true. This is something I have to measure myself by documenting my experience. I don't know anybody else doing this at this time the way that I'm doing it, but it's my journey. It's what I want to do, even though my mind very much finds it frightening.